So we're back at the Twilight Saga. Hello, been a while since the first
I know what you're
movie.
talking about, Joe, but this movie is a great comedy.
I mean,
Mind you, I know what you're thinking, guys. Why did it take so long to continue this? The answer is we did. The problem, simply put, that the audios got lost, so we decided to cut corners and start, from where we left. Actually, I haven't checked back on our commentaries of the first movie, so I hope it's good enough.
Yeah, we actually had done both New Moon and
These
Eclipse.
and Eclipse.
However, the
But-
audios were lost, so basically.
But
yeah, that's
anyway,
the
let's proceed then. This is Twilight Saga New Moon, the second title, released in 2009, with a budget of 50 million and gross 709.7.
By the way, I would love to mention something about the Twilight Saga. First of all, Twilight Saga, a phrase that you cannot say with a straight face. Second, these titles are so nondescript. Like New Moon, there's no moons in this movie. There's no eclipse in the movie after this. There's no Breaking Dawn in the final. Like,
Also,
what's up with these names?
Also, you gotta love how literally a year after this movie, the next one would come out, because that's a sign of good quality.
And the film was directed by Chris White.
Yeah, we have a different director from the previous one.
Fair, Joe, weren't the Harry Potter movies kind of releasing on an annual schedule?
Same for Lord of the Rings.
Whose filmography up to this point was mixed, to say the least. He wrote Ants, Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps. He directed the Golden Compass movie.
Oh, it was
2 years
literally
prior.
the movie before this one. Wow.
Okay, now, like with, most of the Twilight movies, I won't blame the directors, it's Twilight.
Well, he got better, Jova. He did a screenplay for the 2015 Cinderella live action, and he co-wrote Star Wars Rogue One.
Oh, not bad. So yeah, he definitely got to step up after this. Anyway, though,
I guess this was just a job. But anyway, let's start properly before the... Oh god, I've already forgotten the name of the logo. Summit Entertainment logo. Basically, black screen right before the Summit Entertainment logo. In 3, 2, 1, click.
Twilight. The series that still has the ever-aged meme, it's still a better love story than Twilight. That said, other than that, though, making fun of Twilight is... Well, it's something of it's not completely dead, but it's something, it's kind of like the golden age of piracy.
Worse things have showed up, Jova, like the fanfic when inspired a new series, 50 Shades of Grey.
So why are we here then?
Just to suffer. Anyway, yes, Pedro?
The interesting part is that in the same year that this movie came out, there was also Dragon Ball Evolution, and hold on.
See, Pedro, there's your New Moon.
Yeah,
we have justified the title.
Brilliant. Summit Entertainment also released the 2009 Astro Boy movie in that same year. So
they were multitasking.
and so that was a much better release from Summit.
Oh boy, here it comes, the pretentious narration.
Okay. How long does it take to unveil the name of your movie?
You know, Teo, considering all these movies all start
with Italy?
With a Bella narration, and all of the 13 games start off with a narration of one of the characters, I'm starting to think Toriyama's a fan of the books.
Possible.
Sorry, I didn't know.
This movie released the same year as 13 did in Japan.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, here's Bella again.
Yeah, but the books came out
once again played by Kristen Stewart. Now, gotta be honest, she had got a couple of better roles in the later years, but as you can imagine, her career hasn't propelled for obvious reasons.
That public scandal where she cheated on Robert Pattinson probably destroyed her career in a lot of ways.
Oh, well...
Oops.
Oh! What are you saying, guys? Of course, her career would finally see a resurgence with the ever-so-guaranteed success that was to be the Charlie's Angels movies. Oh, wait, it bombed.
I don't really care. That the bitch deserves it.
Oh, there's Edward, once again.
I mean, I guess she's okay.
Well, in the meantime, Robert here, he's now headlining a Christopher Nolan movie, so yeah, he definitely moved up.
Not only that, he's Batman.
He's getting Batman. Yeah, he's becoming Batman too.
So yeah, karma.
Anyway, Lives, who's the composer here? This Alexander Desplat. That's the sound
Yeah,
that's the sound a tomato does when you throw it to a wall.
Alexandre Desplat. He composed. He would go on to compose
that stupid sparkling.
Anyway, he would go on to compose the Deathly Hallows Harry Potter movies.
See, it's connected everything.
Well, that's probably a good composer. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Bella is afraid of getting old, while of course Edward will stay young because he's a vampire. So there you go. She's having a midlife crisis at age 18.
Let me check who actually played old Bella.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah,
Cute.
Subtle guys.
Extremely subtle.
Hello, best character in this entire franchise.
Yeah.
Bella's father. Forgot actually who played him. Yes, Shira?
For as much as we complained about, the teen romance stuff in Half-Blood Prince, I mean, this is this entire series. This is...
Yeah. Well, Shira, that's the whole idea.
It's very unsubtle.
Shira, like I said before, these movies are porn for teen girls.
They're fanfic fodder, and I guess that's basically the same thing.
This is for little girls who haven't realized that the internet can be used for even better porn.
Okay, there we go. Billy Burke. He was a major character in a couple of series like Revolution and Zoo, and he was also in 911 Lone Star, which I heard is quite infamous.
Much like the 50 Shades of Grey series is for porn for middle-aged women. So there you go.
Lonely middle-aged women.
Exactly.
Again, you can find porn on the internet, guys. These movies are not necessary anymore.
Also, 50 Shades is so toxic.
Exactly. That's a huge problem too.
I recently had the misfortune of coming across a screenshot of the last page of the series. Holy fucking shit!
Shiroi, what are you talking about? The first.
Oh
movie
god,
is terrible,
I remember those cameras.
The first. Sure, I can tell you this. The first movie may be terrible. The movies are all terrible. But the first book, though, the books are hilarious.
No, the last page of the last book is something to behold.
I know, right?
Do tell.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, so I remember, I have a coworker that loves the books. Basically, my friend Sheila, she loves the books, but she hates the movies.
Okay.
God, the unnecessary slow-mo. Who was the editor of this? Let me check.
So, serious guys, I gotta know, what's the context of the last page of the last book of the 50
I'm
Shades
gonna
of Grey series?
get it if I can.
Jova, just look it up yourself, because trust me, even if I told you, you probably wouldn't believe me.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe.
Okay,
there you
fine,
go.
I'll look
There you
it
go.
up.
Edited by Peter Lambert, which apparently can be confused by a baseball player. Okay.
So there you go, guys. He's 108 years older than her.
Cool, I guess.
Wait, what?
But remember, though, he's a vampire.
No, I mean, I'm looking up. Were you talking about the last line in 50 Shades Freed?
No,
the bit about it's a bit from when I don't even know her name, but the protagonist is pregnant.
Let me see. Let me see if this is right. When he enters, jeans on, shirt off, he circles her and says a line fans of the original trilogy have been waiting for.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You're topping from...
I forgot Jacob had this much hair, dude.
Go.
Is the line...
It's a bit still Shark Boy to me.
It's to foreshadow the fact that he's a werewolf.
Let me check. Has Tyler Lautner actually had a better career after this?
Okay. Let me put
Oh
it
god,
this.
he was in Grown Ups 2 immediately after. God.
After the Twilight franchise, I think he was a camera guy for something.
He was in 3 episodes of that. He was in 3
Jova, that's the thing, Jova. You know what was the highlight of Taylor Lautner's career, as far as I'm aware, at least?
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Okay, fine. Aside from that.
He was in 3...
After Twilight, the highlight of his career post-Twilight. being the butt of a joke in TED. That was the basic. That was the highlight of his career.
Again.
Apparently, was in 3 episodes of Danny Phantom.
Okay. I will say this with a straight face, and since that video of ours actually has over 1,000 views, I know a lot of our viewers out there have seen it. I will say it. Shark Boy and Lava Girl was a better time for Taylor Lautner than the Twilight franchise.
Especially considering how unique his character arc and.
Another thought there'd be somewhat of a connection between Twilight and bloody Danny Phantom.
Go figure. Anyway, allow me to read the line.
That's the thing where these franchises is missing, ghosts.
So apparently the last line from 50 Shades Freed is, "You're topping from the bottom, Mrs. Grey," but I can live with that.
Trust me, Joe, but those books are some of the funniest shit you'll ever read, I assure you.
Honestly, the English titles always baffle me, but I'll mention this another time, yeah. School drama!
That is Alice. For those who don't remember, Alice is Edward's sister, and she can predict the future. Again, you know what's the best? You know what the best way is to ruin tension in your story? Have a character that can predict anything that's going to happen. That way, the heroes are always prepared for anything that comes towards them.
Oh, they're watching a better love story.
Amazing.
Also, by the way, Alice, yes, you may remember her from our Detroit Become Human playthrough as Kara.
She's played by Ashley Greene, apparently.
Again, she would later go on to be Kara.
No, that's a different actress playing her.
Yeah, and by the way, Anna Kendrick is basically stuck in these movies. Fortunately, who should not have a better career post Twilight as well.
Right. Also,
look at her. She fell asleep on camera. She was
watching Romeo and Juliet. You heretic! Someone yanked her out of the room.
Ashley Greene would go on to play Barbara Gordon in Batman: Arkham Knight.
Oh. So wait, you're telling me they didn't use the same actress from Arkham City and Asylum?
Well, apparently, from what I heard, she wasn't the only character that got recast with someone more famous.
No. Cut. Kristen, you're supposed to sound interested in Edward. You sound disgusted by him. You look disgusted by him. Look at that face. You're supposed to sound... you look interested. Look interested, honey.
I really wonder who dropped the ball, because we established that the director can be competent. These actors in different roles can have potential. So who did it? Like Stephanie Meyer basically was consulting this.
Well, Stephanie Meyer didn't write the scripts for these movies, but
I think we're establishing now the Volturi, clan of Italian vampires who are basically the Illuminati.
Well, apparently they call all the shots, so aren't they more like the vampire mafia?
Yeah, I guess. Mamma mia. So what? You want to go more stereotype? Instead of eating blood, we eat tomato sauce?
But, see, Tia, don't you see? Stephanie Meyer just wanted to pay respects to the Italian culture by making Italians the head of all vampires.
This is best exemplified by having one of the prominent members of this Volturi played by an actor who absolutely doesn't give a shit and plays his role completely and utterly unseriously.
Oh, we'll get to him later.
It's one thing I'll give this
movie... with a teacher of fucking children. Get
it? He's heard the story so many times that he knows it by heart.
One thing I will give this movie, it's very diverse as to what countries are represented. Like, for the most part, it's America, yes, but we have Italian vampires, and we have a Welsh vampire as well.
Aren't there also ramifications that the werewolves are basically descendants from the natives?
Also, Teo, don't feel bad. The Italian vampires are the best characters in this franchise, especially Michael Sheen.
That says a lot.
Okay, when I say Welsh vampire, I mean this guy.
Oh boy, here we are, Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen,
the true hero of these movies.
But we didn't deserve.
Now, funny story. The most recent thing I've seen Michael Sheen in was a docudrama called Quiz, which was based off the infamous coughing incident in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire here in Britain, where he played the show's host, Chris Tarrant.
Come on, give him the kiss of death. Give him the kiss of death.
And he was very good at it. He had the ticks down pat. Here, yeah.
Fatality.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, maybe.
And I've also seen Michael Sheen.
Oh,
In the
of course you can't think
I
of
know that-
anyone hurting him, Bella. That would require you having to think about someone other than yourself.
I've
The
seen-
reason he's telling her all this is because allow me to remind that the Volturi don't allow vampires to do anything that might reveal themselves to the world.
Ah,
And the-
Victoria,
and the-
she's just a side note, that's all.
Yeah. And he's afraid that the Volturi might not approve of a vampire that
Very union, yeah. Yes, Lives.
because this is most
I'm sorry,
unorthodox.
I was gonna say the other thing I remember Michael Sheen in most was when he played a famous football manager named Brian Clough in a film called The Damned United, where basically it told the story
Yes, sir.
of a football manager managing the then biggest English football club at the time, Leeds United, for a grand total of just barely over a month.
Oh boy, this scene.
It's a party, everyone.
Okay, so anyone who had the misfortune to read the first book, i.e. me, will remember this scene from an excerpt at the end of the first book as a preview for the second book. By the way, was anyone unfortunate enough to be in one of the schools that actually had students read Twilight as a book
Thankfully,
assignment?
no, but
Not me.
I think I did mention this in the first movie commentary, but just in case, my math professor at the time was interested by the fact that I was reading Lord of the Rings at the moment. So he pulls me out and he says, Matteo, I heard of this new author, Stephanie Meyer, that is writing these new series of books about vampires. Rumor said she's becoming the next
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling.
Why
Of
would
course,
they do that to
Of course, back in the day, I knew nothing about this. So I was like, okay, cool, maybe
Oh,
I'll check it out. And then instead I check out Aragon, so I guess I traded one poison for another.
Okay. Aragon, I'd say, is a better book series than Twilight. I mean, it had a very, very iffy start.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
here we go.
Intervention! Seriously, this is basically the scene from Finding Nemo.
Oh boy.
Look at that
No! I'm protected.
Get out, Beth! Get out the
By the way, this is supposed to be taken very seriously.
Yes, it is.
Let me check who plays these
Oh,
amazing
look at
person
that!
called Jasmine.
Look at that! Nice job, Edward. You caused her to bleed
there's-
even more.
This Alex, you don't need to bring out the whatever. Basically, Dwebs, since she got wounded and bleeding, and remember, vampires drink blood. These vampires are good, so they've trained themselves to restrain themselves. This right here, this guy Carlisle, he's a doctor, so
The way you can tell if
he's
a-
used to it.
The way you can
He's
tell
used
if a,
to dealing with human blood, so he's fine. However, that other guy, Jasper, he's not used to restraining himself when there's human blood, so he lost his shit, basically.
the way you can tell if a vampire hasn't fed on a human is if their eyes are golden or red. If they're golden,
And
they're clean. If they're red,
yeah, sorry, go on, Joe.
if they are red, oh, they will eat you.
And apparently, Bella's blood is especially intoxicating in its perfume. It's like a huge aphrodisiac perfume for the vampires
Because
she's just that
so
special, I guess.
perfect. Yes, Bella, the queen of the Mary Sues.
Actually, I'm actually legitimately curious. Was there an official comic book adaptation of the movies? I'm gonna so check it out.
I'll admit, okay, everyone was making fun of this movie, but as someone who was forced to watch this movie, I don't know, something about New Moon really just peeves me off. I'd say Bella's arguably at her worst until the Breaking Dawn movies here.
Okay, I will say this, compared to Half-Blood Prince, I will say that so far the pace is going infinitely faster.
And that's a thing that Oh my god, you know what I just realized? This came out the same year as Half-Blood Prince, and was a better movie than Half-Blood Prince. It's like how in 2010, Twilight ended up being a better movie than the last Airbender movie. So Twilight...
I mean, how you can say in 2008, Twilight was a better movie than Quantum of Solace.
Congratulations, you're better than Quantum of Solace.
This was just a terrible, cesspool of movies.
I mean, at worst...
It was like the Dark Age doing a desperate attempt to come back.
Yeah, that's a thing about...
The first Twilight, I understood the plot, it just wasn't very exciting. Quantum of Solace was all over the place.
That's the
Also,
thing
Jova, I posted the actual paragraph that I was referring to in the chat.
Oh, let me see. Christian lies beside
Oh, you
me.
don't need to read it.
Yeah, please, Trevor, if you do it, I'm
Please don't
editing
read
that out. So
Please
yeah,
don't read
no
this.
dice.
If actually already get rid of it before Joe.
No. I won't read the rest of it. Well, out loud
Thank you.
anyway. That said, though, we should totally read this when we eventually have to cover the god-awful Shades trilogy.
Sure.
We're not... Wait,
in,
what?
in
Oh,
context, I suppose.
Sure. You know we're gonna have to eventually tackle it. Just like you'll have to eventually suffer Dragon Ball Evolution when we get to the Generations commentary of it.
One's far worse than the other.
Which?
And one's 3 movies also.
Okay, guys. When you say the pacing's better than Half-Blood Prince, I'm willing to say... I'm willing to guess you don't mean by a whole lot.
Well, yeah, I'd say
Well,
this lightly for this lightly for a reason.
Dwebs, it's still a Twilight movie, okay? We're not crazy, okay?
Most of Twilight is watching these two stare at each other.
By the way, guys, I guess in a way our commentary is somewhat well timed because recently there's been news that Stephanie Meyer is making a new, quote unquote, new installment to Twilight. It's sort of a.
You think this is ridiculous, Dwebs? Later on in Breaking Down, when they're about to have sex, but for the second time, not for the first time, everyone even says, "Let's do this. Let's do this."
Which Breaking Dawn do you need?
I think he's talking about part 1.
Okay. Because this was around the time they were splitting the ending of book adaptation films into 2 parts.
By God, there are just so many jokes to make.
It's better. It's better than Left Behind, which was going to split one book into multiple parts as opposed to the final book in the series. And by that I mean the Nicolas Cage version.
Mm-hmm. And remember, the second part was supposed to be officially funded by Kickstarter, but it barely reached any of the amount.
Shit.
Not a lot has happened yet, has it?
Also,
Nope,
Pop
not
Song,
really.
I think.
Shiroi meet Twilight. Twilight meet Shiroi.
Oh no, Bella.
Also, Anna Kendrick was on screen for 8 seconds. Can we go back to that, please?
No, sadly, this movie... See, the thing you have to learn about Twilight is that the side characters are far more interesting than the leads, but the movie doesn't seem to understand that.
Well, these are the leads. As bland as they are, we have to focus on them, unfortunately.
Well, okay, here's the thing, though. Depending on what sort of story you're making, the side characters should not feel completely pointless like they do in something like Twilight.
I think this is where Edward is going to give her the bad news. Just check this out. If I remember correctly.
We're gonna put down Yeller.
Pull the trigger.
Yes.
not yet, Joe, but the werewolves haven't come in yet.
Let's go for a walk, George. Why do you call your dad by his first name?
So there you go. Her first reaction is, okay, I'm gonna think what to say so that my dad will allow me to go with you. Not to mention, she calls her dad by his name. Usually, don't we say dad? But whatever.
That's usually a sign of disrespect to your father, and last I checked, there is absolutely no reason for her to hate her father.
No, she doesn't actually hate her father in any way. Not that I've noticed.
I swear, Bella is quite possibly, like I said, at her most insufferable in this story. Like,
don't worry, Jova. That becomes at its zenith in the eclipse.
Interesting thing. I didn't think we mentioned this in our commentary of the previous movie.
Go on.
But in the previous movie, there was a in the score for the first movie. Robert Pattinson's sister Lizzie did background vocals for that.
Huh. Also, gotta love that it's a vampire in this case saying to the human, "You don't belong in my world." I think I think
Dracula is rolling in his grave right now.
No, just that, Jova. The team developer of Castlevania that now made Bloodstain. I forgot exactly the name.
Iga.
There you go. Yeah, I think he's rolled by probably by laughter more than anything.
So yeah, he's breaking up with her because again, Jasper just trying to take her, and I can protect you if something goes wrong. There's a lot of dangers out there in the world. Yeah, you should have thought of this before, asshole.
Actually, I do wonder.
When are they gonna get back together?
At the end of this movie.
Actually, I forgot. Is there any honestly? I probably not, but is there any of parodies, fan arts, of vampire hunters in other media that have never done a Twilight joke of any kind? Like the classic joke that Helsing Ultimate Bridge literally starts by Alucard killing both Bella and Edward.
Like, you gotta understand this, Tio. Twilight was just the thing that was asking for it. It was that massive middle finger to mythology that everyone, and I do mean everyone, just had to take a stab at. It was like the Xbox One original reveal here. Everyone was making fun of it, and boy, howdy did it warrant it. In fact, even fans of Twilight were making fun of Twilight.
Okay, is the cameraman about to fall over?
Yes. Even the cameraman is so bored.
Whoa! Jesus Christ, that kiss looks so forced.
And the writer is behind the camera going, wake up, we're rolling.
Alright, let me check in the meantime the accolades, because this movie actually was nominated at least for a couple.
So there you go, guys. Edward broke up with Bella, so what was the point? So yeah, the first movie has not been rendered pointless. Good job.
Almost 30 minutes in.
Actually,
but she's going after it anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. Edward thinks that this will make Bella safer. Yeah, we're about to see in a lot of cases that no, it does not. In fact, Edward, you do realize that Victoria is still out there, right? You know, the vampire whose lover you and the gang kind of killed protecting Bella, and you think that she won't try and come after Bella to kill her?
Not just that. You know, Bella, you know where he lives. Why not just go to his home? He probably went home to pack.
Knowing him, he probably vanished without a trace.
Guess what, Joe? The movie was at least nominated for the 2010 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, but it gets even better. It lost to Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel.
I mean, I guess that was technically the better movie, the Squeakquel.
So basically, a dull movie lost to an annoying movie.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I guess I could say that some of the music from the Squeakquel was good. I mean, it's literally pretty much just kids bop.
Well, I stopped checking after Cheap Wrecked.
Show me those songs are bloody unlistenable.
Blah blah. At the 2010 TV Movie Awards, Pattinson was nominated and won the award for Global Superstar and Best Male Performance. Okay. Steven Pattinson won the award for Best Kiss, while New Moon won the award for Best Movie for the 2010 Teen Choice Awards. The film is actually were given a combined total 10 nominations hate to wish the film won. God.
Well, this is pretty much teen fodder, so...
At the 36th Saturn Awards, instead it lost against Drag Me to Hell, so Sam Raimi managed to stump this one.
Thank God.
And there was something about the 2010 Young Artist Awards. Jesus.
Here's the thing about
What a
Twilight.
massacre.
Twilight feels like an experiment. It feels like something that was manufactured and produced to be the ultimate teen machine.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Okay. Actually, I think I saw already the actor who plays Billy.
So yeah, apparently Bella's been out for so long that there was a search party being put together for her.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam.
We will...
Now put a shirt on.
Who's this guy again?
He's Sam.
Yeah. Who is he?
Well, he works on shirtless, so has to be a werewolf.
He's not important. Don't worry, he's not important.
Because I mean, if you watch on the previous movie, because the last film was so bloody memorable.
October.
So there you go. Now she's basically going to be, for a lot of the movie, being emo, all because Edward left her.
Again. Okay. While Bella does reveal that, yes, she is an evil, cold, heartless person in Eclipse, like I said,
pop song.
she is the most annoying...
They're throughout this movie, Tio. It's a teen romance movie.
Again, something about this movie just makes Belle feel like the most annoying she can be to me, in this one in particular.
Remember.
There it is. Twilight both Twilight and New Moon got a graphic novel adaptation. Well, I think it's strictly based on the books and not the movies, so it doesn't have the likenesses of the actors, with the N Press being the publisher.
Maybe you could try talking with your friends who are very nice and supportive of you. Oh my God! I just realized something.
But Silva, without Edward, what's the point?
Oh my God! I just realized something, guys. Sonic X is kind of a precursor to Twilight when you get down to it. Just
these are got a year. Go on.
Okay.
I want to hear where this is going.
Chris Thorndike is a guy who technically has a lot of friends in his life, but couldn't care less about them. But when Sonic enters his life, apparently that changes it. And it's also to the point where Chris himself cannot let go of Sonic, to the point where Chris sabotages the machine that is meant to send Sonic and company home, which risks the entirety of 2 worlds possibly being destroyed in the process.
Yeah, I'm with the father, oh God, not again.
So basic, that is true, but mainly I'm talking about Bella. So basically, Bella is this selfish cow who doesn't care about anybody.
Also, you can tell she's such a bad character because she has a Mac.
Alright, for those of you not familiar with British slang, cow is a term we here in Britain use for woman who is not very pleasant.
I'm familiar with that. That concept also kind of...
But he was saying it as a general statement for the audience who may not know.
It's an interesting thing here. We use the word, but a synonymous of it specifically. We have a disprecative word cow.
We use that term as well here in America.
Yeah, in my country, we don't use the cow. We don't use cow. We use goat because the word goat in Portuguese sounds way different than in English.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of using the cow animal as
like your old friends, you barely talk to them.
So no, Dwips, she's not a cow. She's a goat.
Wow, you're actually going to see Jessica. That's the one played by Anna Kendrick.
You have a friend?
Yes.
Yeah, she's Anna Kendrick, who this movie expects us to believe that Kristen Stewart is cuter than.
Didn't Anna Kendrick leave the series at some point?
I think so.
Because she was in Pitch Perfect at some point.
Don't you see, though, Anna Kendrick would have so much better things to go to, like Mamma Mia.
Oh, great.
And Mamma Mia, too.
Mamma Mia
this is the third pop song in a row composer, editor, whoever decided it was a good idea. Spaceman better.
The dead come back.
What is this, Suicide Squad?
Mm-hmm.
Zombie movies are such a cliched affair. Meanwhile,
What
look at
about,
us.
I forgot, Jova, what was that zombie series that was basically Twilight with zombies?
What? There was... Okay, I actually don't know.
There was an equivalent with zombies. Anyway, Dweebs, I
Oh, wait,
checked.
wait,
No,
wait.
Anna Kendrick sticked at least... Well, actually, no, she left in the middle of Breaking Dawn. She's in part 1, but not in part 2. She's only credit only.
Well, there's no reason for her to be in that part anyway.
True.
A little recap of the first movie, why not?
I mean, to be fair, we haven't seen it in a while, so... Oh!
Okay, there you go. From this point on, every time she's in danger, she'll see a spectral version of Edward giving her advice, because...
She can do that.
I don't know. This is never explained, so I don't know.
Because I guess Edward just has a steward sense, so he can sense when she's in trouble.
Don't you see, Jova? That's how strong the connection with Edward.
Yeah, sure it is.
You know, maybe it's just his dumbass alarm. Because in that case, by all means, it would be blaring high around her.
So guess what? So there you go. Now she's using the logic of the hallucination. She's gonna realize that, okay, if I want to see Edward in my fucked up hallucination, I have to do dangerous things to provoke more hallucinations. So there you go. And now she's gonna whore herself out to these bikers.
Which, if I recall correctly, were the same personality of the Darth's henchmen, the lieutenant, the proper biker henchmen in Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 4. As Lil Kuribo described best, their only real phrase when they say we're bikers.
What are you talking about?
What are you doing?
He's talking about. She's talking to the Edward hallucination.
Yeah, I don't give a shit, I just want to score. Like, great mentality.
Wow.
Also, safety first, put a fucking, helmet on.
But
I forgot, okay, Jova, sorry if I asked already, but in the USA, is it like a state per state law that, some state have obligatorily put you the helmet if you ride a motorcycle or not?
The rule is that you need a helmet.
But like universally for all states, not like one exception or something?
Everything, Jessica, everything.
Wow, so yeah, they just went for a motorcycle ride and that was it?
That was a scene.
That was exactly the idea. Oh, it felt so good.
Also, Anna Kendrick in this scene sounds a bit like Lacey Chabert.
Anna Kendrick is arguably one of the...
Walter, you don't expect her to bring her A material into this crap, do you?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. When you say Lacey Chabert, is this Lacey Chabert in like one of her good roles or one of her bad roles?
I know her only for Lost in Space and Sonic 06, Jova. Sorry, I have limited experience.
I think she was in Family Guy for a bit.
Season 1 only.
She was Meg.
The first 7 episodes, basically.
Hey, Jake, rocking the mullet, I see.
Dude.
It's also, she was also in Not Another Teen Movie, which was a She's All That parody.
Ah, okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and that was a surprisingly good movie.
Yeah, it was. It was back when parody movies were good.
And it was ghostwritten by Mr. Flipping Shyamalan, of all people.
No, She's All That was the one goes written by Shyamalan.
Yeah, the parody one, that was made by other people.
Oh.
So what was the twist? She's All That.
The twist was that it was actually a good movie.
I'll take that.
Joe, you see, Theo, here's the big revelation of She's All That. In order for a girl to look pretty, all she has to do is take out her glasses. There you go.
Oh, maybe the twist is like she had the beautiness inside her all along.
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, come on, it's only Rachel Leigh Cook. Like, of course she would look ugly
Yeah.
with glasses.
Oh,
Yeah,
right, I remember now. We mentioned this in War Within.
that's the other problem too. That movie tries to make Rachel Leigh Cook look ugly, which
Yeah, now I remember. You guys mentioned this in Prince of Persia War Within.
You might as well be
Also,
trying to make Tifa Lockhart look ugly with glasses.
I see what you did there, Jova.
So there you go. You guys probably are familiar with the whole Team Jacob versus Team Edward thing that was going on at the time, right?
Oh,
this is where it
yeah.
started. Well, this is where it started. This is where Jacob, who has a crush on Bella, starts bonding a bit with her.
So, guys, who do you think Bella should be with? A cold, closed-off person who pretty much just leaves her, barely even properly talks to her,
No,
and
Joe,
stared
that's
at
the
her?
thing.
Or should she be with a guy who genuinely actually cares for her, goes out of his way for her innumerable amount of times, and literally carries her out of danger?
How about an isolation prison cell from crimes against humanity?
Yes,
worry,
yes,
Jova.
yes,
Don't-
Bella
don't-
belongs to be there.
Don't worry, Jova. Breaking Dawn Part 1 will give Jacob his definitive love interest.
It's funny. It's funny. Breaking Dawn is ironically the film that broke the camel's back for a lot of people. As you may know, the absolute scathing of Twilight was a fun sport for a lot of people who were forced to come with dates or whatnot, or just regular people in general making fun of it. That said, a lot of people stopped finding it funny with Breaking Dawn Part 1. For quite a few
What
reasons.
about Part 2?
Well, let's just
At,
say...
that, at that point, a lot of people already checked out, but that's a talk for that movie.
Let's just say this: people hate Breaking Dawn Part 1 with a passion, even people who enjoyed making fun of the series.
I personally didn't particularly. Yeah, of course, there's that whole problem with the way the stance it takes on abortion and shit like that, like what people have talked about. But honestly, to me, I was so detached while watching it, I didn't even think about those things. Honestly, I don't even think it's worth trying to give that movie that credit, to be honest.
I think a part of the issue was also that it managed to screw up Jacob's character.
Yeah.
Like, Jacob was someone people, yes, even non-fans legit
We're
liked.
so playful.
Oh, look
Get
at
it?
that.
Because we're werewolves, so we behave like wolves. We fight with each other for sport, for
Wow,
play.
how charming. Okay,
Oh my
I swear
god, another
half
pop
this-
song for montage.
That's what half this. Did Alexander just black compose any of this
Yeah,
movie?
exactly.
How
I'm about to
much
ask Clips. Did Mr.
Oh, look at
Tomato in
that.
the Mirror actually composed anything
I don't
in
know.
this movie? What I mean?
It is like actually, it's not like Half Blood Prince. Sorry.
Pizza time.
No, I remember the comparison now. It's like Birds of Prey, where I swear 80% of that soundtrack was songs, not an actual music score.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, as long as they're good songs.
I mean, if that's the case, why bother hiring? Well, that's the thing, Jover. If that's the case, why bother hiring a composer in the first place?
Again, I forgot to remind me once more. Did Suicide Squad add an actual composer?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
that's a similar case to that then.
The idea is just, to have bouts for music in between the songs, Dwibs.
I'm sorry. I know it's supposed to be tragic the moment, but I can't
But it's
resist.
the second time they've done this in one movie.
I think part of the problem is that Kristen Stewart is not the best with portraying emotions outside of
Well, that's an
Bratty.
understatement.
Discontent.
I'm not convinced that Kristen Stewart is very good at anything.
Okay.
Hell, even
Well,
hell,
I
even
will ask you then, in case to give the movie Underwater a potential chance, because from what keep in mind, don't take this as me saying that the movie is good because I have to see it myself. But from what I heard, it seems to be one of the best movies she had been. So maybe that would change something.
Well, if it's
Well,
something
I
that
hope
plays
so,
to her
but,
strengths, I guess. Like, okay, let me put it like this: Kristen.
I hope so. But the only other time I've seen Kristen Stewart in something that wasn't Twilight was Snow White and the Huntsman, and she was just as bland there as she is here.
Bibbs, do you think Meryl Streep would be able to make that role work? I mean, come on, like, with a script like that, I mean...
Okay. Going back to what I said, though, Kristen Stewart seems to be best in her element in something that plays up her lack of emotional range. Case in point, SNL. Seriously. I think she's better in SNL because, well, they made sketches centered around her relatively well. Surprisingly. Then again, it's SNL.
That's just the problem, Joe. When an actress requires the role to be specifically written around her limitations, that's just not a good thing for an actor.
Yeah, and that is why.
Well, I mean, I think. Oh, sorry. You finish.
I just really do not think Kristen Stewart is that good an actress. Like, I'm sure she is trying, but she just isn't really that good. And Charlie's Angels only solidified that point even more.
Yes, you're right.
Well, it's different in this case. I would agree because this is based off of a media that already exists. The books, but a role being written for a specific actor or actress isn't new, and sometimes sometimes screenwriters write a character with a specific person or persons in mind.
Wait, guys, I gotta point this out. Bella was actually concerned for that boy's safety. Oh my god.
Where does that come from?
Don't get used to that, though.
Yeah, that's the question.
God.
Where does that come from?
Sure. I'm perfectly aware of that concept. It's just that the point that I'm trying to make is that if an actor requires that in order for he or she to deliver a good performance, then he or she is not a good actor.
I mean, can it be said about Ben Stein? That isn't that in his entire script?
Well, I don't think anyone ever tried to argue that Ben Stein is a good actor, too.
Well, it's more...
Well, I think they cast him in... I think the idea is that, they take the most out of the potential they gave.
Yeah. I think one of the best examples of someone literally writing something for someone was when Stephen King, who enjoyed Misery so much, he actually wrote a story just with the intent of Kathy Bates in the starring role. Stand By Me, I believe, was the name of it.
Was that film any good?
Notice my directing.
Upside down camera angle shots.
That actually... is a bit nauseating, right?
But that Stand By Me thing, that Stand By Me thing you just mentioned, was that any good? Because from what I've seen of actual scripts being written by Stephen King.
No. It's not that the movie was written by him. What I mean is, like, he actually wrote a book with the intent of it being adapted for a film to star Kathy Bates.
So basically, Jacob is teaching her how to ride a motorcycle.
Remind me again how old is Bella?
18.
Okay, so for a motorcycle like this, she technically could. Okay.
I don't know why. Something about the lighting feels so saccharine. Granted,
better that than the blue filter in the previous one.
I know, right? Also, it's better than Half-Blood Prince.
More adrenaline, so I can hallucinate about the boy who
Don't say if I were you.
Hold on, check this out.
Sorry. Because you're not mean to.
You
Whoa!
fucking dumb bitch. Alright, here we go. This is one of my favorite scenes.
Okay.
So, she just got hurt and she's bleeding. So what to do now, guys?
Make out?
Yes. I mean, no.
Hold on. That too, yeah.
Also, that's a clear
Yeah, here you
crayon.
go.
Oh no,
So
I'm
what to do
bleeding.
about that?
Take her to the hospital.
No, Dwebs.
Boy, doesn't Stewart sound so concerned about bleeding?
It's just blood. You're bleeding
Take off
from
your
your
shirt.
It begins.
So there we go, Dwebs. See Dwebs.
Jacob, you're applying sweat all over a wound. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Not
it.
only is
I
that
take
really
it.
disgusting, but guys, take a shot every time he takes his shirt off.
Seriously, that's so
I take it.
unsanitary.
So Tio, I take it that's not something you should do.
Well,
I'm confident with it should be like a given, like very logic. Sweat may be bad to come in contact with the blood cells of the open wound.
okay.
Just saying.
Okay. So here's the thing.
But anyway,
Here's the thing. Normally,
okay.
when somebody,
I'm not a doctor or a nurse. Or
okay. So here's the thing. Normally, when somebody does that, if they have to use their shirt, they rip off a piece of the shirt, and that's usually a part of the shirt that wouldn't be contaminated with bodily fluids. Something like the sleeve, not near the armpit or whatnot.
Or the bottom of the shirt, even a lot of the time.
The problem is that Jacob is so ripped, but you can guarantee just by flexing a bit he sweats buckets.
I know. And that's another thing, though. Normally, that's only used as a last resort, or, when it absolutely calls for it, too.
So there you go, guys. Bella's officially become a suicidal maniac. But anyway.
Great. What a great role model for girls.
Yes.
Also.
Yes, you're right.
I was just gonna ask, since you read the, I never read any of the books, and I don't think I asked this in the first movie commentary. Is Bella this docile in the? I'm not sure if that's the right word. Is she just this
boring?
Okay, here's the thing, Shuri. In the books, we are constantly hearing Bella's thoughts. So even if she is docile, it will not feel like that because she never shuts up because somebody put a microphone in her head.
Yeah, it's like the complete opposite. She's super expressive as a result.
Yeah, it's the same problem as the Grey trilogy, because those books are also told from Anastasia's perspective. The problem is the movies took that away, and that was what made the books funny. So it crippled the movies basically.
So okay. So here's the.
So by taking away her inner monologue, she's this.
Yeah, you fucked it up.
That said, Shiroi, don't imagine that made her a better character in the slightest in the books. It just made it that, you heard more from her in some way here and there.
Punch.
Well, I would agree, because, we're reading her inner thoughts, but the characters aren't hearing them, so it's like...
Okay, I get it, they're supposed to do, like, sort of a parody of the traditional, testosterone, muscle-bound, gun-tooting hero movie, but come on, guys, face punch is like the name of a gag that Family Guy would do.
By the way, going back to the
also, Jacob, stop spoiling. Sorry, go on.
Going back to the scene where Jacob takes off his shirt to help Bella. Basically, everybody, I saw this movie in theaters.
Why?
And back when it first came out, because I love these movies, Joe, but they're hilarious. Anyway,
true.
Anyway, Jova, trust me. Watching this movie in theaters back in 2009 with a theater full of teenage girls, it's the best thing. Because, as I'm about to explain, basically, everybody, I'm not even kidding you. There you go. It's just like Bella right now. I was watching this, and I was surrounded by teen girls. The theater was full of teenage girls. I swear to you, when Jacob took off his shirt in that one scene we just saw, all the teenage girls sighed in a collective sigh, and it was like waving a bone in front of a pack of hungry dogs. It was
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
I only saw the first movie, and everyone was so loud.
Okay. That's the thing. I did not have that luxury. No, when I had to watch this movie, it was because I was forced to, because my sister wanted and liked it, and thus we had to watch it on DVD.
So okay, I'm sorry, but I have to ask because I'm curious. So, Jova, what was her reaction when Jacob took his shirt?
She didn't swoon. That's the thing. She just legit liked the books back in the day. And she wasn't one of those girls who was immediately swept up in it. It was just that she legit liked it. So I didn't even have any of the girly
I'm gonna pull
reactions
as one princess and ask the four deadly wars. What else is there?
Yeah.
Because aside from the romance, these movies and books really don't have that much going for them.
Honestly, too, at least Odette still has bland niceness. Belle doesn't even have that. But anyway,
it's funny you even say that, Jova, because when I went to the cinema, the friends I went with, they actually also really liked the books and such, and they didn't care for the movie all that much, I have to say.
That that's kind of a thing. It's like, well, the movies were kind of written with sort of this slightly, and I do mean it's a very subtle, tongue-in-cheek nature, in the sense where you can tell that each of the directors thought, okay, I am literally adapting Twilight. I cannot take this entirely seriously because it's Twilight. Like, that is one thing I'll give the movies again, and why people can laugh at them. Oh.
Holy shit, guys. Bella just had a brief moment of clarity.
And it's gone.
But basically, Jacob was just saying, don't worry, I'll wait for as long as I can, so maybe you'll fall for me. And she just said, I don't want you to because that's selfish. Don't worry about it, guys. This will not last because eventually she's going to continue giving this guy false hopes.
I'll just say this. Poor Jacob. That became a meme.
Yeah. Another thing. Another thing. That's the thing, Sheila. That's when I knew that when I went to the theater and I saw all the girls collectively swooning over Jacob's pecs. That's when I realized, yep, this is basically softcore porn for teenage girls. Okay, all right.
Okay, are you sure we can't watch Face Punch instead?
Sorry, Lives.
It doesn't exist.
Actually, that's the biggest scene that I'm seeing on IMDb here. They actually didn't credit who did the voice acting for those scenes that they watch about Face Punch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he needs to go home.
It reminds me of those cheesy DVDs you could watch in Persona 5.
What, you mean like Kung Fury?
Even IRL Lives, it's like the classic, the quintessential Steven Seagal movie. Oh god.
But that would imply Steven Seagal is anything but a plank of wood.
Okay, Jacob, what the hell?
You suddenly got violent, didn't you?
We're not even an hour into the movie.
Hey, she literally just told Jacob, you're really hot. Not giving false hopes at all.
That's the thing. She means literally because she put a hand on him and he's literally becoming hot.
I know, but
yeah, but you know what the people watching this were thinking at the time.
True. Also, is that rugby, Joe, or pool?
Double entendre.
That's football.
American football.
Okay.
But yeah, I gotta wonder, what was Jacob's deal there? Like, it's not like the boy was a jerk or anything.
The father is literally just chugging beer while watching football on television. That's the author idea of what the American Sorry, go on.
Let me try my best accent. You see, Teo, the sooner she just leaves that way, the better. That way I can just live my life alone with.
Not just that. Stephanie Meyer's idea of the American father comes from inspiration probably by watching The Simpsons. Okay.
Charlie does not get nearly enough credit.
Good talk, honey. Thanks. Okay, moving on.
Oh my god, did you just had like an actual Native American actor say my kung fu is strong?
Oh,
yes.
Also, if we're having spin-off films based on bloody Edward's perspective, can we have one based on the dad's perspective?
Dibs, that's the question literally everyone has been asking.
And guess what, guys? Now that he's, disappointed that Bella told him not to wait for her. Sorry, he cut off his hair for some reason, and now he's gonna be. And from this point on, Glibs, he's gonna consistently be shirtless for the rest of this movie.
Pretty much.
I'm guessing the reason is because now he has to join the gang, Sam or whatever's gang.
That's none of your business, honey. But
okay, you know.
I'm sorry. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I gotta say this. Is Bella Flipping Swan of all people about to give lip service on how someone should be living his life and not obsessed with someone?
Alright, as bad as Sharp Boy and Lava Girl was, at least Robert Rodriguez has some degree of style. Whereas Chris White, whether he's being hampered by the script or not, his direction is not very exciting.
Also, that's racist.
I can tell you that the final battle in Breaking Down Part 2 is very well directed, Whips.
Oh, that wasn't Chris White's.
Well, it's the best I got, sorry.
What, Breaking Dawn Part 2, you said?
The final battle, in terms of technical direction, that's a pretty awesome battle.
Yeah, but from what I understand, it's not.
Also, I so gotta know. Like, I do wonder.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Bella.
We can't be friends anymore.
I do wonder if any of the actors, like Jacob
wait! Oh my God!
Caught a cold by standing so much in the rain shirtless.
So she knows that she's been hurting him, and it apparently kills her. Why, Bella? Okay, honestly, Bella, why all of a sudden do you dangle hope in his face now? It's not you, it's me.
Even she's calling it. Oh my god.
Basically, he's going through the Edward thing in the first movie, where he's a werewolf, so obviously they can't be together.
Actually, it's a bit different. It's more like he's just sick of her kind of, pulling the I need time card, so he's like, you know what?
That's the thing, Jova. He never does that until Breaking Down Part 1 when that thing happens that I can't mention yet.
Ugh.
Oh, that's a
friend. And ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Black has been pushed out to the friend zone here. Kristen Stewart has finally pushed him to the friend zone here. Oh my God, I can see the heartbreak practically in his eyes right here. Oh, he's scrambling, he's trying to make it back into the romance zone, but tripping and failing horribly. He's about to join off the cult, folks. Oh, I can't believe what I am seeing here, folks.
That way, Bella. Now I'm gonna go back to my friend werewolves to play grab ass on the woods. Yes, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, by the way. That's what they do, as you're going to see later.
Oh, God, this series. Again, Twilight is just a magical thing. You hate it, but you love it at the same time. Like, on the one hand, it's a terrible thing. On the other hand, if it didn't exist, we wouldn't have gotten so much laughter in the world at some point.
Look at this.
What is this? Across the universe?
How long did the actors have to stay in those positions? But that can't be comfortable.
Across the universe. That was the name of the recurring theme in Attack of the Clones, wasn't it?
Let me ask you something, Dred. What?
I swear. No, that was Across the Stars. Sorry, I fucked that up. Anyway,
okay.
you were saying?
That's Star Trekking instead.
Let me ask you something, Dwebs. When your loved one has dumped you, and every time you get an adrenaline, you're getting hallucinations of that person. What should you do in that circumstance? A, ignore it and try to get help. B, just do nothing. Or C, consistently try to endanger yourself so that you can trigger more hallucinations of that person, so that you don't have to leave that person. What would be that? So what would be the possibility here, Dwebs?
I'd question why C is an option in the slightest.
Oh, so D, all of the above.
Oh, goody. Okay. Remember how I said before that Edward abandoning Bella doesn't really make her safer? Well, here's one of the vampires from the first movie.
Yeah, and
but you forgot about him.
And they're here to avenge.
Well, okay.
The one who died.
Well, okay. He's actually not here to avenge him, as you'll recall. You'll remember, this guy actually helped them out in the previous movie. No, it's Victoria's out to avenge. That said, though, this guy is still dangerous to Bella for particular reasons.
In the meantime, I have some material for you. Hold on, this first.
He's played by who to you?
Hold on, I'll mention later. Okay. I'm sorry, the voices in my head are telling me to lie better.
So anyway, who's he played by?
Hold on.
Pardon the... Oh.
Just who plays him, Joe.
Well, don't worry, I can mention either.
Okay, he came as a favor to Victoria.
So you're respecting Victoria's secrets?
Oh dear.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I want to fall asleep.
What do you mean threaten him, you idiot? wouldn't that only make things worse?
He's played by Eddie Gaffegi.
Gaffetti. But basically, Jova is the guy who played Darwin in X-Men First Class.
Is that the guy who died from exploding by having something put in his mouth?
Yes.
So basically, this guy wants to just kill Bella and be done with it all.
Although
Yeah,
he's clearly toying with her.
So you're going to ask me something earlier, Pedro?
That's sort of a thing, though. In the book, it turns out that he's actually trying to kill Bella just so that, he can stop Victoria's whole revenge scheme, which would lead into a major war here and there.
I love how Bella doesn't even try to run away. Oh.
Hey, Labs, there you go. I got some material for you. Time for you to judge how good this CGI werewolf is.
Oh god,
Oh,
I'm getting never-ending story flashbacks.
I know, right?
Okay,
Hagenor.
For as much as I don't like the 2016 Jungle Book movie, I will admit the CGI animals of that movie are what they should aim to be for CGI animals. I know this film came out years before that film, but even by the standards of 2009, these CG animals are not good.
So...
Oh yeah, I forgot that the werewolves can teleport in the ground.
Yeah, by the way, that's Jacob, by the way.
Oh, what a shock. But yeah, it turns out, folks, we have werewolves. That's right. Stephanie Meyer thought it wasn't enough to show my ever-so-smart take on vampires.
He's slow-mo in this movie. Sorry to interrupt, Joe.
He's surfing on the wheat.
Oh. So Stephanie Meyer thought...
Okay, I'm gonna check out everyone with the movie if there's like not a recut, but like a compilation of some scenes with cartoon sound effects added onto them. Also, how did you manage to get home so fast?
Huh.
She ran.
Let's call the TV. Bella, it's clearly the Sasquatch. Let's call all those weird programs that the hunting down Sasquatches.
I love how the father was all like, "All right, fine, let's check it out." Like, then why did you bother telling them this?
Seriously.
I guess she wants to just take everyone down with her.
Bella, brain, connect.
I don't think she needs a coffee, like several coffees.
Also, for some reason, one of those shots had the camera tilting on an angle for some reason. Also, whoa, we're doing it again.
So she's like York. Zach, let's get some coffee. I really need some coffee, Zach.
Okay, is Chris White's camera broken? This is not the second time this has happened. The camera suddenly falling over.
Remember, Dweebs, the cameraman at some point started falling asleep, holding his lip.
Okay, when does Michael Sheen show up? Because I'm about to fall asleep myself.
Sorry, Dweebs, that's gonna take a while.
It's not a good time to eventually visit for the climax.
Oh.
Dude, you just barged into her room.
Bella,
sorry, he's not gonna cut it.
Bella, why are you filling up my abs?
I don't even care if it's him playing Chris Tarrant as much as that would be completely against this movie. I just want to see him.
I'm sorry, Jacob. It's just I was feeling for gold there.
What? That you're in Shark Boy and Lava Girl and you're trying to get away from it?
Can you imagine for how many months Taylor Lautner had to, do exercise just to get this body specifically to be exactly like it's described in the book?
So was
a
it
reminder
worth
that
it?
Hugh Jackman had to do a very shitty diet to keep his physique for Wolverine. I can't imagine what this kid had to do. Not just that, I mentioned this before, I do legitimately wonder if he actually caught a cold by standing in the rain shirtless for so long.
Honestly, have to ask, was it worth it?
I'll tell you, maybe the ring could have been CGI. I mean,
No,
CGI
the characters actually did look wet, so.
Well, maybe they chucked a bucket of water over him.
Yeah. It's actually not that uncommon too. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. I swear there was a rainy scene in Logan. So Hugh Jackman, he was leaving the series, but the creators were going to put him through the ringer on everything before he left.
Get their money's
Well, mind
worth,
you,
I
really-
guess.
Well, mind you, he nearly castrated himself. So
And he had just survived cancer.
Get a look at that back, girls. You know you love it.
Where would we go?
okay. I swear, half this movie is about characters wanting to leave something, whether it's
And honestly,
leaving Bella,
they're not even sure what to do.
I would also like to leave.
Guys, I wasn't done yet. I swear, half this movie is characters leaving something, whether it's characters leaving Bella or Bella wanting to leave either of those two, or them wanting to leave to elope and go somewhere. I don't. You might as well call, why isn't this movie called Twilight Leaving Moon or something?
Drebs, welcome to teen romance stories.
I already had one the last movie. Well, mind you, that movie didn't have people wanting to leave.
I actually think this movie's worse.
Yeah. Wait.
Well, that goes without saying.
Hold on. Worse than what?
Half-Blood Prince.
Okay, yeah, it's technically worse than Half-Blood Prince, but as
I'm guessing you'd rather sit through this, though.
Well, okay, that's...
I wouldn't.
Definitely.
Like you
I'm
said,
asking Jova specifically.
Okay.
Like I said, the pace is slightly faster, so there is that.
Okay.
It's
Shuri,
shorter.
honest question, Shuri, which would you prefer watching, this or Half-Blood Prince?
Half-Blood Prince.
Really?
I think that's probably because I had a long-running attachment to that series, whereas I have none to this.
That
Yeah,
actually
it's
is
same
a good
thing, man.
point.
For me, it's because this is funnier and it's shorter.
Honestly, it feels longer sitting through it.
It's a tough pick for me because I said before...
What does it mean? Oh, God. That was the movie's idea for a nightmare, by the way.
Probably still wondering what happened to Laurent, aren't you?
This is Jacob's grandpa, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he looks a bit young to be his granddad.
Fine, father, whatever. He's the parental guardian, whatever.
Well, don't the werewolf also live for a long time? Not as much as vampire, but for a long time.
Yeah, there's that too. Remember, they're werewolves, so their lifespan is not the same.
Isn't that adorable? She's watching him while he sleeps. But
More
she's...
shirtless
So
boys.
adorable.
The boys are in town.
An entire group of shirtless boys. Hooray!
That forced laughter, though.
Oh boy.
Oh shit.
Intervention. You know, these werewolves
Oh, no!
use
He ripped-
anger management.
Also,
Sit. Stay.
Well, Bella, you shouldn't have punched him in the first place.
Oh my God!
Maybe answers in German.
Oh my God! Jacob is actually wearing a shirt,
Don't
Not
worry.
long, Java. Not long.
and it's
Whoop.
gone.
There you go.
You know, I just like to point out that every time they transform, they rip their pants even. So does that mean that when they turn back, they're naked?
It's Hulk logic,
Yeah,
I guess.
hang on. It said, all right, it's German. So, heart.
Also,
In case you missed it, everybody, yes, the entire point of that scene was so that Jacob could save Bella from something.
My God, the fast pacing of the fight. I don't mind the fact that it's two CGI monsters fighting. It's just that can you go a bit slower?
Yeah, I can't even tell what the fuck is
They
going on.
even knocked the camera off. What was that beat?
Also, honestly, despite how fast-paced and blurry that all was, that actually made the CGI wolves look worse.
Alpharum.
Hey, Jova, how does this compare to the CGI in Alpha and Omega?
Well, I'm I'm not sure that's a fair comparison, since since the style of that movie was supposed to be.
Not only that, but the first Alpha and Omega movie was more of an indie project more than anything, so maybe not the best comparison. Anyway, going back to comparing this to Half-Blood Prince, it is really tough, really. Like, I just like both movies. Like I said, New Moon, to me, is Bella at her most annoying stage here and there. Half-Blood Prince was something that I warned you guys I really do not like from top to bottom. So it really, really is a tough call here and there. I guess.
I have to point this out. There you go. This is that guy's girlfriend. One of the werewolves. One of those two on the table. I forgot which. The basic point is, she's not a werewolf, by the way. However, apparently, at one point, her boyfriend turned into a werewolf and ended up injuring her. Because we needed another abusive relationship in this series, didn't we?
Okay, now to his credit, apparently it was apparently a fit of rage that he couldn't control. So, I mean, I guess you could say maybe it was an accident. I don't know. It depends on how Stephanie Meyer's universe of werewolves works.
Also, those muffins are gigantic. See, Jesus.
Yes, muffins.
No, I know, but they're so big.
This chick runs with vampires.
Dude.
Ha. Ha.
Ha.
Dude.
So
What
Bella,
is this,
you don't want to ask what happened to the vampire they were chasing the other day?
You know, the one who wants to kill you?
Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, there you go.
Sam, I think? The leader of the pack?
I think it's Jake.
No. Jake's the one pining after Bella.
Oh, that's Jacob.
Actually, Jake's a diminutive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Whatever. It's like the character matters anyway.
Oh, it's okay. It's all water under the bridge now. We were just
Whatever.
playing.
Oh, by the way, here goes Shiroi. I think this is it. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, sure. This is where we're gonna have the. You don't understand, Bella. I didn't choose to be this. I was born this way. Yes. And now metaphor.
I'm pretty sure. I'm confident that wasn't even remotely close to what the author was envisioning with this.
Now it's so abundantly clear that this is supposed to be much like, again, just like the X-Men. It's supposed to be a metaphor
For racism.
For racism and prejudice against any kind of minority, basically.
Speaking of X-Men, there's something
it's wrong. Hold on. It's wrong how?
I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way.
Anyway, as I was going to say,
Peter died.
I'm not the right kind of monster for you.
Good God.
yeah, on the subject of X-Men, this film came out the same year as X-Men Origins Wolverine.
That's
Like, wow, 2009 was such a terrible year.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Well, we had Up, we had Astro Boy, we had
I'll take Astro Boy, sure.
What else came out?
Avatar.
You don't like Up too?
I would have preferred if it was staying short just for those initial minutes.
All right.
I don't know. I don't think.
Oh.
I don't think
there we go.
It's going to be that good a short movie.
You know what I mean, Lives.
So yeah, Lawrence
Yeah, I know.
dead.
It's just you. Yeah, it's just you. I mean, well, whatever. We'll get to Up when we get to it.
So basically, long story short, the werewolves are doing a better job at protecting Bella than the vampires did, it seems.
Yeah.
Why is she so important?
Because she's
her
the main
blood.
character.
Because she's the most amazing, beautiful woman that was ever born, Shiro. Don't you realize this?
Oh, and also because apparently her blood is just that important.
Remember,
Let's see.
Snow White and the Huntsman thought she was hotter than
Characters stuck
Charles
between
Burton.
moral choices between several different factions warring against each other. Very constant, edgy attitude. Chosen one subtext that could be considered, a theme song. Very good. Bella is Shadow the Hedgehog. Confirmed.
No.
Don't do that to him.
Seriously, Shadow is not nearly that selfish. He is someone who improves over time, and he actually works for his own destiny. Bella doesn't do a damn thing.
Yeah. Sorry.
Also, he's like 50. He's gonna be a bit grumpy.
Yeah.
So Sheila, I gotta ask. So what do you think of this movie's? Can't you just stop being a werewolf? But it's not a lifestyle choice, Bella. Moment.
It's who I am.
Okay.
God.
Okay, it's a really tough call here. On the one hand, yes, I can say that this movie makes me legit laugh more than Half-Blood Prince did, and Half-Blood Prince was actually trying to be a comedy half the time. It's just
Okay. So when are the laughs supposed to start? Seriously, I'm finding this even duller than Half-Blood Prince.
The last
Also,
are
what is this
completely
music?
unintentional.
This film has gone completely nowhere. All that's happened so far is Bella gets in trouble a lot. Her dad's worried a lot. Edward and Jacob save her a lot. And also we have piss poor action scenes and CGI. That's it.
And then there's a lot of scenes where nothing happens. Everyone's just staring at each other and not saying anything.
Dwebs, meet the Twilight Saga. Twilight Saga, meet Dwebs. There you go.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I am struggling to see what the hell you guys are finding so hilarious about this. I mean, fair play.
And
Fair play to you that you can find something enjoyable in this. But me, this is just a dull mess.
Sure, that's okay.
Wait, I gotta love this. So Charlie was none the wiser to a giant wolf tackling a vampire who was literally right behind him.
Well, he's isn't he like
the wire jump of the wire jump of doom?
Isn't he like also strongly implied that he's a werewolf too?
What?
Well,
Well, I guess not.
it's like the Smeghead said in his review, Dwebs. All those action scenes are hilariously bad.
Oh my god, that CGI crow. Also, gonna wait for our copy. We decide to put subtitles for the pop song that is going on at this very moment.
Did you guys get the sing-along version of this film?
I guess, but that's the thing. So far, it's just for this particular song we're getting the subtitles.
Oh,
I mean, I can imagine advertising it now. Do you want to sing along to Jacob's?
Wow, this is the most
sing-along version.
This is so epic, guys.
This is the most dissonant thing I've ever seen since fucking Quest for Camelot. Okay, so we have Victoria being chased by werewolves. What music should we put in? Like, should we get Alexander Desplat
discount Depeche Mode, basically.
Should we get Alexander Desplat to bring out the choir and have a Carmina Burana-esque theme that's exciting or something? No. Let's get an incredibly boring pop song where the singer sounds completely bored off his ass. Yeah, that will work.
Okay, then.
Well, that happened.
Yeah, that's how it sums. That basically sums up this movie. That happened.
Meanwhile,
there's a bunch of stuff that happens, but it doesn't really go anywhere.
Okay. I think I've made my decision. This and Half-Blood Prince are equally bad. For differing reasons, but I consider them the same equal of being a pain in my ass.
Oh boy, here we go. The ultimate hallucination trigger.
Basically, he's about to commit suicide.
The voices in my head are telling me to.
Well, actually, Edward's telling her not to.
This is terrible.
Oh,
it really is.
Sure. You're committing suicide, but it's best to remove your shirt first. Your jacket, sorry, but what the...
Have you ever thought about a life outside of Edward, Bella?
No, that's just ridiculous.
Even the jump is so awkward.
Well, what isn't awkward about this series, Tio?
Well, I'm more tolerant
How?
towards the
Why
CGI,
is the music
I suppose.
like this?
Wow, the music.
So, triumphant. Oh god!
They
No!
allowed Alex to score a couple seconds.
Still, what the fuck was with the CGI tidal wave?
Is that why? Is this why he didn't return for the next movie? Because he barely got to score any of it.
The moral of the story is don't romanticize suicide, please.
Please.
What's the
I-
story?
I-
Oh
Hi,
crap,
Victoria.
Victoria.
Oh, starting having second thoughts, Bella.
And she just had put it into the rock, and now she lost her conscience. Good job. And that was the Twilight Saga, everybody. So,
Kind of a dark ending, but
How-
still enjoy.
and now we're in the beginning of Man of Steel. Like,
Also, how the hell did they get Howard Shore to score?
Where did you come from?
How the hell did they get Howard Shore to score a Twilight movie?
Can vampires breathe underwater? I have to ask.
he lost a bet at the casino, good. So he really needed the money.
Guess.
Oh.
No, never mind. Jacob saved her.
Wow.
While
So
doing
that
some
means this movie
CPR.
that means this movie can keep going. How wonderful.
That's not how CPR works.
Also, why did he need to be shirtless?
Why not?
Shiroi, he has to be. Shiroi, how else are the teenage girls supposed to masturbate if they don't see him shirtless?
You know, Java, I don't get it. Why does Hollywood mechanically, voluntarily decides to get CPR so wrong?
I don't know, because you know the weird thing is that there are a lot of movies that actually get CPR right.
Yeah, I know. But for those who get it wrong, I'm pretty confident that the people behind it actually know how CPR does work,
Well,
but they
okay.
intentionally designed to do it that way.
Well, that's the thing. It's often used in media as like this weird romantic gesture when it's not.
Okay. Might as well try to be a little bit fair, Shiroi. The in-universe explanation is that the werewolves always have their bodies incredibly hot. Their body temperature is incredibly hot, which is why they often don't really wear that many clothes because
Well,
they
they
don't
are
need
dogs, so
They're not. They don't. Basically, the primary in-universe explanation.
Was Victoria
God,
literally
that
just
looks dumb.
watching before doing?
And now he has a shirt back.
This week, submarine is submerged.
Bella, not for nothing, but he needs to concentrate on driving.
Eyes on the road, Jake.
Ribs, you're gonna go nuts at how York drives. But anyway, basically, sure, yeah. That's a universe explanation. They have such high body temperature that they don't need shirts. So the problem, but yeah, obviously that's just an excuse so that the teenage girls can watch shirtless boys' abs. So
Wonderful.
Also,
You know,
that shot. Sorry, go on, Ribs.
That reminds me of a bit in the Doctor Who episode where one of the female companions just starts randomly taking her clothes off because it was getting too hot.
That's the beginning of a porn fan fiction.
And believe it or not, it was a classic era Doctor Who episode, not a modern.
Which incarnation?
Fifth Doctor.
Oh, okay, that's why I'm not that familiar.
It was the 80s. The 80s were weird from what I
But
can
no,
tell.
but that shot before, where she was leaning towards Jacob, it was completely wrong in terms of composition because the central focus was the windshield, where none of the two characters was. They were like in a corner. So I think you expect that scene to like have the apparition of Edward spying on them, but nothing happens. So technically, that shot was all wrong.
Everything about this movie is wrong.
Pretty
it's
much.
Michael Sheen. It's a Michael Sheen.
Like I said, I don't mind some of the CGI. I still think some other is terrible, though. So
Yeah, but there's not much. There's
Yeah.
very bit of Michael Sheen to be wrong. All right. I mean, that's like saying Eddie Redmayne wasn't wrong in Jupiter Ascending, even though he's not in that much of the movie. By the time we get to him, I'm so bored. It's too late.
oh my god, I can feel my hair growing. Do something.
Hey.
See what I mean?
Hold
Hey.
on. Nope.
Wah,
We're gonna
wah.
get used to this because we got up until the third act of Eclipse. This is gonna be hard to talk with Jacob. There's this moments where they're about to kiss, but then something interrupts them. Again, just soap opera
Wait.
type of thing.
Hold on. Uh-oh.
There's the vampire. What do you have? Is your vampire radar on? Is
To
that
be
it?
fair, common stereotype about werewolves is, animal and all, they can smell things better, so he recognized the smell of a vampire.
Mr. Bella is an idiot.
I'm sorry.
Stop being an idiot, Bella.
You didn't lemon with me, I'm angry
What do you
at
mean they won't hurt you? You had a vampire try to kill you earlier. Are you fucking...
Hell, Soka nearly ripped your throat out.
Okay, I have to officially, even though it's not up, even though I don't have the professional competence to do that too, I'm gonna have to declare Bella a mental invalid, because there's no way someone normal can be this stupid.
Oh yeah, that's
Well, I generally attribute that more to malice. I think I did mention in the original commentary.
Okay.
I generally think, well, but it's not only just me. I think a lot of people basically come to a realization that Bella is just malevolent and not stupid, deliberately malevolent.
I would argue she's both. Thank you.
What?
Someone with sense in this movie.
You liar.
See, I told you the side characters were much better than the leads.
Isn't that kind of a problem?
Yes.
though?
Yes.
That's the recurring theme with this entire franchise. You're more interested of the lore, or potentially the lore and the background stuff, rather than the main plate.
Again, it's like I say, any of these characters is more interesting than Belle. Hell, even Edward is probably... Well, okay, if he would stop staring all the time, he would be more interesting than Bella.
That's the thing, Joe. Also, Edward has showed up basically only as a ghost so far.
I wonder, was Edward this barely in the book, or did
Yes.
Robert Pattinson have scheduling conflicts?
No, this is generally how it goes in the book as well.
Okay.
Remember the whole book is all about the pain that Bella has for not being with her vampire boy. So
Who gives a shit about Bella?
Also, you decide to enter now.
Most of the teenage girls of the late 2000s.
Look how well that's aged.
Yeah. Honestly, I also have a personal theory, but I'll save it off commentary.
It's a Vanilla Ice thing. It was just how back in the early 90s everybody was into Vanilla Ice, and look how that aged.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you
Oh,
know?
snap! The future teller didn't see Victoria.
Well, yeah.
That's
So
the thing.
yeah,
That's the thing, Dwebs and Jova. She can predict the future, guys. But the thing is, she can only predict the future when it's convenient for the plot.
I love how Jacob was like this close to quote the Hulk. He's like, "Oh, don't get me upset. You don't like me when I'm upset."
I thought the twist was going to be that Bella's still in the water, and she's just hallucinating all this.
I
wish.
So yeah, as you
Well,
can
that
tell,
happened.
vampires and werewolves don't get along.
No, really?
But guys, what if a certain teenage girl could unite them in a common cause?
It's like the way you described it, Pedro, the way you described that, it's like a comedy. It's like a trailer for a comedy movie. Vampires, werewolves, they don't get along.
Well, actually, Jova, it's not Bella who unites the two species. It's Jacob with,
well, okay.
The baby elephant.
Okay.
His amazing abs.
Okay.
You
Here's the thing, though. The story constantly gives Bella credit as supposedly uniting them with the third story for...
Well, she is the baby's mom, so she did play a role in it.
Well,
No,
that's the thing.
hold on.
Basically, she passes from chosen one to delivery girl.
Yeah, not only that, I'm also talking about Eclipse, where she is credited as uniting werewolves and vampires as a common cause against Victoria. Because, it's so important that Bella survive.
So why you keep going?
Why?
Because Theo, like you yourself said, she's malevolent. She's not just sociopathic. No, no. She's aware that people have feelings. She thrives on them. She feeds on them. She feeds on the misery of people.
Now who is the real monster?
Hell. By the end of the Twilight Saga, she is literally a blood-sucking vampire. So, yeah.
You see, Dwebs.
Oh my god!
Are you tired of this happening to you?
Seriously.
Yeah, now fucking advert. Anyway, yes, Peter?
You see, Dwebs, as this is going to become the primary, obviously, when we get to the next movie. But the thing is, Bella gets sick pleasure from people's misery.
And
now he's in Rio?
Why are you doing in Rio?
He's in Rio because he's trying to.
Oh no!
I smashed the phone in rage.
Well, Theo, it'd be funny if when he was being interrupted by the phone call, he answers the phone and the voice is like an automated voice at the end that says, "Are you tired of being interrupted all the time?" Yes, by you! Stop interrupting me, you piece of shit!
Oh boy.
Wait, but the Volturi's are in Rome or whatever. Whatever place in Italy you want to film.
Guess what, Dwebs? Throughout this entire time, turns out, Dwebs, Edward has also been miserable without Bella, so he wants to kill himself too. How is he going to do that, you may ask? Well, the only thing that can... So basically, he's going to reveal himself to humanity as a vampire, because that's the only crime vampire society has. That way, when he does that, the Volturi will kill him.
That is literally the only crime that they have.
But, wait, why did he go to Rio if he's going to go to Rome later?
Yeah, exactly.
Because,
maybe it's like a stopover, even though that makes no sense whatsoever.
He had the stopover place. Why not stop in Paris or somewhere in Switzerland?
Because Rio de Janeiro is nice. Because Rio's nice this time of year.
To Italy.
Well,
actually, I'm curious, Joe, of a possibility. How big may be the Brazilian fan base of the book at that point?
Oh, that's a good question. I think
there will be kind of like there will be like a fan service like moment like a Woody Woodpecker movie.
Well, Twilight was popular everywhere, so I'm assuming it's probably about the same as.
Okay. But anyway, as to why he was in Rio, at that time he wasn't planning to off himself. So, Virgin Airlines, cute.
Does it still exist?
As of this recording, yes, but there's a lot of stuff apparently because of the coronavirus that might be getting into administration at some point.
Understandable.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
So basically, Dwebs, now it's time for Bella to go and save Edward from revealing himself to the Vulture.
He's still wearing those. He's still wearing those stupid.
1 hour and 40 minutes. We have our plot.
He's still wearing.
I thought this happened much earlier.
Hold on. He's still wearing those stupid pajamas, by the way.
Oh, here we go.
Yes. Listen here. Hold on, this is gonna be amazing.
What is pecs?
Yes.
Turns out he doesn't want to kill him.
Why not?
You know, honestly, Edward,
you get to overact to your heart's content.
Not only that, Edward, but you could literally shift how the rules go if you join the Volturi.
Aren't you tired of being that fan? Don't you just want to go apeshit?
Alright, so on the subject of the filming of this particular scene, in film, they're in a place called Volterra in Italy.
Yes.
Yeah. For the filming, they chose to go to a town called Montepulciano.
Montepulciano.
Which is
it doesn't really have a meaning.
Which is in the Italian province of Siena, in southern Tuscany. A line that I totally did not read from the Wikipedia.
So there you go. Alice just predicted that the Vulture are going to kill Edward, so we have to prevent that future from happening.
Okay, the Tuscany is a nice place to filming and it gives some variety, so I'll commend the movie for at least trying to not go for the stereotype here for Rome.
or
Oh,
Venice.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, Venice isn't a nice place and all, but it is overused in terms of Italian locations. So
Mare Marini Mortacci.
So
Also, Bella is filled with scars. Also, I checked for the credits. They actually, since we filmed in the place, all the extras are legitimately Italian people.
I love how in Italy they have a holiday for the fact that there are no vampires.
My God,
that's
really?
right, Tina.
But remember, Pedro, superstitious people. We have a lot of weird holidays like that.
All right, and now it's time for get out the way. There we go. Wow, and that's as simple how clothes have been as far. Like usually she's always wearing like 4 layers of clothes. That not this. She only has 1 shirt this time.
Also, these extras are clearly not well directed at all.
What are you talking about? They totally seem like they're Italian.
What is with this shot?
Oh, we're back again here.
Why is it slow-mo suddenly?
Okay, Dribs, you're probably wondering this. How is he going to reveal himself to be a vampire to the people? Guess. Don't tell him.
He's just gonna yell it.
He's going to run to the top of the tallest place, so the tallest building he can find, and yell in Italian that he's a vampire.
No, he's gonna take off his shirt so that his body will sparkle, and that will make people think that he's a vampire.
These extras, man. Look at them. They have no clue.
Hang on. Well, so what? People might think he's just sweating really hard.
Yeah, like, honest question.
Here we go.
Why would any... Okay, so here's the problem, though. People are running off of the normal idea of what vampires are like. So how would seeing someone sparkle make somebody think that he's a vampire? Like, nobody considers vampires work that way.
What is this scene?
Shira. The Edward fangirls also want to have their shirtless scene. Come on.
And yet he's not as pleasing to look at.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
How is no one turning around at any of this? Like, this is just...
Oh, the little girl!
Bella saves him by covering his body with
the power of hugging.
Well, I can sum that up for you, Shiri. They're in northern Italy. No one cares. People have their shirts off all the time.
Dweebs. First of all, central. There's a clear distinction between people who will kill you for that statement.
Anything else?
Sorry, I was looking at the scene. My bad. But still, the point being, Dweebs, believe me, there's more to what you just said.
Well, then I guess it's not very hot around there.
Depends, because Tuscany is a very varied region. You have plains, you have mountains. It's kind of like it's a microcosm similar to New Zealand, just less tropical.
Well, I'm not actually Italian, so.
Well, that's what you need me for.
Yeah, all I can go off is what I've seen on like documentaries and other stuff.
Sure.
Screw you.
Sure, you did.
She's still gonna exist, even. I don't get this.
That's because he thought that she had died. He thought that because of him. So.
Well, how's he supposed to know that?
Because this is a vampire and he has magic. I don't know.
Gee, if only they actually established some lore about these creatures.
Yeah, I don't know how these particular
how these creatures started. Is there a Dracula equivalent? Like a progenitor or something?
Yeah, I'm still wondering why the hell they went to Brazil if his plan was to go to Italy.
Okay, he only planned to go to Italy after he thought that Bella killed herself.
Maybe he was just doing some world tourism.
Also, just letting you know, there's still lemoning in front of the entrance, so where everyone can see them. Oh, well, guess not then. I'm sorry, we're here to arrest you for indecency in public.
Oh boy.
And now, Dwebs, Michael Sheen. Yeah, I know his character has a name, but I don't care. I'm just gonna call him Michael Sheen.
Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow. That's it. Arrow, or Michael Sheen, if you prefer, is going to be introduced. Is going to be introduced to a whole new concept that's going to, let's just say, brighten his spirits. A vampire. Dakota Fanning, what are you doing here?
Hey, Dakota Fanning.
So
She still she still thinks she has a career.
Okay. So Dakota Fanning once. So Dakota Fanning once played a CGI puppet and Coraline. This is the role. Yeah.
She played a very annoying girl in World of Words.
I'll just say right now,
It's not like her sister Elle has had that much better career.
Honestly, I'll take her character over Justin Chatwin's character.
I'll just say this: Dakota Fanning's best role was Coraline, and I don't know if she's ever broken that threshold.
Let me see what she's doing now.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's one thing, Joe. But I don't think her sister Elle has had that much better of a career choices either. She was in Maleficent.
Dakota Fanning.
She peaked early in Super 8, but after that, nah.
Dakota Fanning was in Ocean's 8 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I didn't knew that.
Was Ocean's 8 good? I heard it got hyped up a lot, but I've heard mixed stuff about it.
Basically, Dakota Fanning is a vampire who has psychic powers and can basically strangle you with her mind or some shit.
So she's Valka from Dark Phoenix.
There's your Italian speaker for the movie. There you go. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, wait.
Well, okay, how about this? Did she sound genuine at least?
I couldn't hear. I'll go back after we're doing the final thoughts.
That seems fine enough. Anyway, but get this. So apparently Italian humans are in cahoots with vampires. Is there supposed to be some social commentary on
Jova,
that?
I have no idea.
Okay, so like I was saying, basically this Aro, or Makoshini if you prefer, is about to get introduced to this whole concept of a vampire and the human being in love. And let's just say it's gonna brighten his spirits.
At least someone's happy to be here.
Someone needs to be.
Honestly.
Hold on.
I actually don't know what he said.
Honestly.
Neither do the subtitles because it just said speaking Italian.
Yeah, I should have raised the volume.
Yeah, mine round here too.
Honestly, my theory is that Michael Sheen hated doing this, but he just masks it immensely well.
Just cope with it.
He's the best actor in ever done.
Look at these special expressions. Those say it all.
Seriously, honestly, I feel like the more he hated it, the more he acted to hide it. So he must have hated it so much that what we got is this cavalcade, this avalanche of acting.
Oh yeah, there's another thing. Edward's vampire power is reading souls. I forgot about this.
But he can't do the one for Bella, apparently.
Because she's she's the
chosen
special.
one or something. I don't know.
However, Haro here also has that gift, so he's about to read Bella's soul. Don't worry, there's nothing in there, dude.
But only death and scorn.
And sex.
Also, personal space. You ever like, oh, you got this thing again.
Oh. Hold on. What?
You see the fake.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, there's nothing in there. See? I told you.
You know, it's a bad thing when the characters are calling out how bland another character
is.
Look at him. He's so bug-eyed.
No, it's just because her soul is that special, you know.
I love his logic.
He can't access
she's
it.
Immune to my she's immune to my power. Let's bombard the shit out of it. Ooh.
There you go. That's her vampire power.
Weird CGI effects.
What, smiling?
No, strangling you with her mind.
Darth Vader did it first.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. What is this? A human who cares for one of our own? This is most unorthodox. And now she's gonna try and strangle Bella. Now she's gonna try and strangling Bella. Let's see.
moment now.
So there you go, guys. Turns out Bella is immune to vampire powers. I know, right?
We should dissect her.
Pretty much, that's what we should do. Like, test
It'd
her,
be more fun to
extract the
watch.
DNA.
I'm sorry,
can
my
we
dear
kill her?
boy. I believe
Kill her.
you consider that I run on common sense here. You know that we outlawed that in 1932.
Whoa!
Get out the way, bitch.
Get out the way.
What the hell? What the fuck are these shots?
I don't quite understand what's going on.
Why are
Oh!
She cat, Dunk Donald.
Pretty
Oh
much.
god.
And he has a healing power apparently.
No,
That's what vampires do.
no. That's
Whoa!
supposedly, I think it's hinted that Bella may have had something to do with that healing.
Oh god, this. Oh god.
What the hell
Okay.
are these effects?
How many times Edward needs to be dunked on the floor?
Until he learns to not come back.
Of course.
And
number 3.
Here 3. Oh my god, that pose she was doing. All that grasping of her hair and everything.
What is this?
I have no
My
time for
God.
teenage angst.
So...
My God. So, you have mastered the art of trying so hard to be emotional, yet still not giving much in the way of emotion.
I know, right? Also, not gonna lie, what exactly is the Volturi's plan here? It seemed like they wanted to do something, but then no. Then we stopped the fight with Edward.
It's just an excuse, Jova, for Bella to do something noble for love for her love for Edward.
I thought you were going to say it was an excuse to go to Italy.
That too, but that only applies to the movie.
I hope the vacation was good for the actors when they went there.
This is a sadness? How? That's not a sentence.
Oh my god.
How many times are they going to interrupt stuff by going, wait, or stop, or no?
That keeps the tension going, Dibs, for some reason.
So there you go. Alice just said she'll change Bella into a vampire herself. There you go. Now he's gonna read Alice's future predictions. Let's see.
To prove it.
Anyway, my prediction is that I will somehow...
And now there's the inside of Michael Sheen's eye. There you go.
It's Edward writing like idiots.
Either that or Michael Sheen is going to see himself being in an even worse movie.
And what kind of fairy tale shit is this?
With the sound of blood? I don't know.
The sound of the screams of the damned.
Don't you see, guys? Michael Sheen is seeing himself in an even worse movie than any of these. Passengers.
Michael, personal space.
So
Why
Please.
is everybody so touchy?
So there you go, Mike. Because Bella's such an interesting subject, like you yourself said.
I
Sheila.
said this
But
during the Half-Blood Prince commentary. Why is everybody just touchy?
Jesus.
The other one too summed it up everything.
Sure. Michael Sheen is really excited. You shouldn't try to stop him.
Also, is no one gonna do anything for the broken stairs? No?
Don't worry, Teo. I'm sure they can get it fixed. They're rich. They can pay for it.
We're nearly
So
at the
basic-
end of this, and we only just
Okay.
got the plot, by the
So
way.
basically, the basic gist of it is they're allowed to live as long as he turns her into a vampire.
Brilliant. That is the least sounding Italian tour guide I've ever heard.
She's not
Yeah.
Italian, she's Heidi. one of the
worry,
bonfires.
don't worry, Teo will go back later to tell us
So-
how the Italian was.
So yeah. Basically, what happened was that Heidi. Basically, what happened was that Heidi took those tour people in so that the Volturi could feed on them.
Also, wait, did I skip a scene by mistake?
No, it's
No.
actually how it is.
Oh boy.
You can sleep and I'll just hear and watch you.
You.
I mean, to be
Well, that's
fair, she did watch Jacob sleep, so they're equally creepy people. Was to protect you. God.
Close enough.
And that's why you're a moron.
Oh my God, you are not.
Okay.
Okay.
Dude, have you ever thought of maybe asking her if that's what she wants? Maybe shouldn't
Also-
she be the one deciding that?
Also, what happened to Bella's father? The last time we saw it was on hunting while his friend died.
Because Teo, in Stephanie Meyer's mind, he doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, you are not going to be able to keep that promise.
Spoilers, you will.
Yeah.
So many goddamn times to the point where you have to wonder:
Oh, there he is, Teo. There you go.
There we go.
does he even know that she was out for that long?
Again, Jova, I'm pretty sure he's just waiting to be finally rid of her.
Don't.
And
Oh boy.
I wash my hands of.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we
you
go.
Didn't see her for 3 days.
I'm really sorry, Dad. You see, I went to Italy.
Okay, good. Did you got me at least something to eat?
Spoilers, she will.
Poor mustache dad.
Serious.
Yeah, grounded forever. There you go.
The sad part is that his sarcasm and his mustache are his only defining traits.
Again. Literally the best joke in the first movie.
There was a wolf paint.
So, Debs, I have to ask, who has the more memorable mustache, Bella's dad or banana mustache guy from Quantum Break?
Quantum Break.
Okay.
Anyway. You know, that's the thing, though. Like I said, the best joke in the first Twilight movie was literally where Bella wants him to meet Edward, so he cocks the gun and says, "All right, bring him in."
I swear you've said this like 50 times. Throughout
Also,
this
can you
whole-
And
speak
you
up a
will say
bit?
it 50 more times throughout this entire series, Dres, because that's all these two do.
I don't know how I can live without you. That might as well have been the name of this film, The Twilight Saga. I don't know how I can live without you.
Don't worry, Debs. By the time we reach Breaking Down Part 1, they'll be having bed-destroying sex. No, I'm not kidding. The Edward fucks her so hard he breaks the bed.
Yeah, that's like
Wow.
a joke where someone will make.
Well, don't go near where they live.
I guess that. Well,
Unfortunately, the Volturi have spies everywhere.
yeah.
You see, Debs, we've got people everywhere.
Oh, you too were in the movie. I forgot.
Basically, yeah. There you
Oh, isn't that cute? She's wearing the pants in the relationship. Also, hey, Soka.
Oh yeah, he's Jackson.
I already consider you my sister because we've spent so much time bonding, haven't we? And by the way, Dwips, that guy playing Jasper, that's Sokka from the last Airbender movie.
Yeah,
I never said it. Between Soka.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I've been talking about.
Wow. Well, has he been in much recently?
Let me check.
Well-
What's the name of the actor?
Jackson
Considering this
Rathbone.
and Last Airbender, I'm assuming no.
Sorry. Jackson Rathbone. There you go.
Again,
Yeah.
he's more upbeat in the Twilight movies than he is in the actual Last Airbender movie.
And a verified Sokka's supposed to be the comic relief.
Yeah.
He's doing still stuff to this day, but I don't recognize any of his particular product. But he's still doing both movies and TV series.
So what does Dr. Cullen here think? What do you, Edward? Have you come across the fact that maybe this is Bella's choice? Shouldn't Bella decide how she wants to live her life?
Honestly, this series is so fucked up because one moment everyone else chooses for Bella, but the moment she starts taking decisions, she's such a bad judge of character.
Not just that. This is also gonna come back in Breaking Down Part 1, where when Bella gets pregnant and Edward wants her to abort, and again he doesn't try to give. Hi,
boy.
Jacob. Hey,
I was in the movie.
I'm still in the movie, by the way.
So, Pedro, Bella has a hard time deciding what she wants from McDonald's. What hope does she have of deciding this?
Say it to my face.
I just wanted to say, fuck you.
No, thank you.
Aww.
Let him explain.
You're a simp.
Huh.
Oh, that's not too unreasonable. Sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Not interested.
Yeah, true.
Oh boy.
I listen to you, now you listen to me. Yeah.
Bitch.
Oh.
Oh yeah, the treaty between the werewolves and the vampire.
Mm-hmm. Ton ton ton.
You're my friend?
Again, gotta love this toxic relationship between these three. Like, the men just keep, bitch, you do what I say, and that's it.
And yet Bella loves them both for it.
But don't you see, Jova? That's exactly what she... That's the thing, Jova. That's the whole point of these movies. It's a fantasy for teenage girls who just want boys who will go do anything for her, and even, you know, like, it's the Harlequin romance.
Oh my god, Bella, please stop leading him on.
Jova,
I know, brick wall.
Well, half these characters are bloody brick.
Don't make you choose, girl. You just admitted that you love him.
Well, not so much that, Dwebs. Jacob here is an abs wall.
So basically, I love you both, but I love Edward more, so he wins.
No. That's for the next movie, Jova. Save that for the next movie. That's when she says that.
But she literally just said it right there. Well, okay, indirectly anyway.
But she's gonna say it directly in the next one. That's the thing.
So basically, Jacob is essentially just the context loser.
Whoop.
Get out the way! So many confrontations in this movie start with someone slapping someone.
This is messy.
And the music tries to be super whimsical.
It's all about me, after all.
Yeah.
Me.
Someone has to try and inject some tension into this.
Oh god, that
Jesus, I swear to God, there's more reflections in his eyes than there are in Morpheus's glasses. And thus, we will never hear from him again. Nah, actually, no, they'll patch things up by the third movie. I mean, at the very least,
now that
he'll
I
be
think
on
about
talking
it,
terms with her.
Jacob, from this point onward, Jacob is basically like Magneto in the later X-Men movie. We just club him to forcefully get into the plot line.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say he hates bridges.
Again, apparently Bella has no vote on the matter.
I mean, that's the thing.
Well,
the
Bella
movies,
pretty much
the stories
wants to
are
be
painted
bidden
her in
anyway.
a way where even if she got anything to say, she will take the wrong decision just by principle alone.
Like, Bella has wanted to be bidden anyway, so it's kind of clear what she wants.
5 years. Why would that change? Yeah,
Honey,
again,
we can milk this series as much as we want.
Can you explain what that 3 to 5 year wait will do, maybe? Is there a particular reason why you're asking for a couple years of waiting?
He wants to wait until
No?
she's old enough. Like, let's not forget, she's technically still in high school, so this is
Hold on, guys. One condition. So what is
Okay.
what is his condition for turning her into a vampire?
Don't moan.
Why the music?
Let's see.
This music.
Okay. And
Why did I have to be the one
and,
dead character in Harry Potter?
oh my god, and the shot.
I feel nothing.
Gasps. And that's how he ends, by the way.
You didn't even gasp!
And there goes cliffhanger. If you want to see if she accepts it, you're gonna have to watch the next movie.
Oh, I have read the book
joy.
Alright, I'll go through my final thoughts quickly just so I can go back then and watch listen the dialogue. Yeah, this is still awful, and the age has only make it 10 times worse. Honestly, again, the likable characters in this are Bella's father, Charlie Sheen's Arrow character,
Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen. Sorry. To be fair, Joe, he looked like he was on a lot of drugs. So.
Well, and also, fun fact. Recently, when the continuity announcer was announcing an episode of Quiz that Michael Sheen was in, the announcer erroneously referred to him as Martin Sheen. So what happened was Michael Sheen, as a joke, renamed his Twitter account Martin Sheen.
Cool. Still, it's like, and that's mostly because of how unintentionally funny or sympathetic these characters are. Otherwise, no one is salvageable, especially the main lead. The main leads are such unlikable, monstrous people in a literal sense. Like, Bella is obviously still arguably the worst of the bunch of the monsters because of how despicable she is and how insecure in her decision is. Keep in mind, I understand that she's still in an age where she doesn't know what to do with her life and everything, okay. But it comes to a point where you just need to draw the line and understand that you need help. And Bella still doesn't want to cross it. She still thinks she can salvage this, even in front of the face of basically the Italian vampire mafia as we've described. This is so fucked up and not the way to properly portray a teen romance. Again, it's a good thing that this is not anymore the golden standard for teenage romance inspiration. Something worse happened, I know, but at least we're getting on a better place, hopefully. I don't know. But anyway, keep going. Oh, and that's another thing that I noticed. The composition. Mr. Tomatoes plat onto a wall here has done barely anything because this movie is swamped with pop songs out of nowhere. And they're not even like the particular. And the music there is so dissonant to what's going on. Whimsical, where tension is happening. This kind of Depeche Mode or during the chase scene. This is just, God, it's so unpleasant to watch and to listen. So this is just horrible, and it's not gonna get too much better, to be honest. So next.
Okay, next.
Oh right, I forgot Kellen Lutz was in this movie.
Well, apparently, interesting thing, Jova. Apparently, in a future movie called Experimenter, Kellen Lutz apparently plays William Shatner.
No
comment.
That's quite a bit of that's quite a bit of a leap. A guy known for being a plank of wood, playing a hammy guy, but whatever. But anyway, my final thoughts on the movie. This movie is extremely dull. Michael Sheen shows up way too late for any fun to be had, if I'm being honest. It's the same thing happening over and over again. Bella gets herself in trouble. Either Jacob or
Edward
has to save her. She lather, rinse, repeat for over 2 hours. And all the other stuff. All the other stuff is not much better in terms of excitement either.
Mm-hmm.
I nearly fell asleep watching this thing. Okay, I appreciate. I'm very happy that you guys found some degree of laughter and ironic enjoyment in this movie, but I just didn't. I thought this film was just a complete bore from start to finish, and no, this film's worse than the first Twilight movie. At least the first Twilight movie had some degree of hilarity with how bad that final fight scene was.
The Wire of Doom.
Wire jump of doom. Yeah.
Whereas here, I've already seen the wide jump of doom, so doing it again isn't going to make me laugh.
I can get where you're coming from, and it's like I said before, this movie just annoys me the most. Like, if I didn't watch it with somebody else, I would just downright hate it.
So yeah, I'm sorry, I don't get any enjoyment from this movie at all.
Fair enough.
Next.
I'll go
Anyway,
next.
in the meantime, I went back and listened. Sorry, Joe. No, everyone who speaks in Italian in this movie doesn't sound genuine the slightest. The receptionist was saying good afternoon, but she was heavily accented.
Well, I wonder if she was actually Italian.
Probably not. The actual Italian listed are just some of the extras, like the people outside.
Anyway, this movie. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
there you go.
Okay, my final verdict comparing this to Half-Blood Prince, I will give this a slight edge over Half-Blood Prince. At the very least, that I could laugh at it, and even still, it has to be watching it with you guys here, because otherwise, oh boy, is this so annoying. Hey, isn't Bella Swan such a great role model for female folk, you know, constantly trying to kill herself over a man, constantly pining over a man, leading a man on who actually does care for her, but then pretty much giving him the shaft. Like, isn't Bella the greatest? Because
Absolutely not.
apparently every character thinks she is, and I cannot stand it. I cannot stand seeing Bella do all this crap, and yet somehow get praised narratively for it. The only person who seems to call her out is her dad, and I can't tell if she even respects him. She calls him Charlie, even though she has no real reason to. The action is so terrible to look at. It's so badly shot. Like, again, the best I can say is that this movie gets so bad that sometimes I just have to laugh at it, and Michael Sheen is amazing. But I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, that's not even getting into how saccharine the whole soundtrack, I mean, the score can get for what bit of score there is when it's not just songs. Like, seriously, the score can get so unbelievably dramatic. Even Shiroi commented on it. It's amazing.
Like, it's trying to make it sound like whimsical or romantic, and it's terrible.
It really is. Like, this movie is terrible, a travesty. If I had to pick between it and Half-Blood Prince, I would technically pick this one, but that would be very begrudgingly. Congrats. And even still, being better than Half-Blood Prince is not really that big a feat either.
This one is shorter. That's all I need.
Good God. At the end of the day, though, this is just a terrible Twilight movie. And honestly, well, what am I saying? Like, there's any such thing as a good Twilight movie. But this is, I guess, to me, the worst of the Twilight movies. Like, for as evil as Bella gets, at the very least, she doesn't feel nearly as annoying as she does in this one. So, congrats, Twilight 1. You were better than your sequel. Next.
In the meantime, Joe, I checked what you asked to know. The reception is played by Justine Watchsberger. Apparently, Wibbs, you may know her because she was a character in Now You See Me Too.
Oh, how nice.
Anyway, whoever wants to go next.
Shiroi?
Yes, Shiroi, yeah.
Well, that was terrible.
I know, right?
It doesn't help, like I said, it doesn't help that I have no attachment to this anyway, this series at all. It's... Nothing happens until, like, the last quarter, not even the last third, the last quarter. We only get the best character at that point also. The rest are sprinkled throughout. I hope all those who attempted to take a shot every time someone was shirtless are doing okay.
The eulogies are being written as we speak.
Poor bastards.
Don't you see, Shirai? This isn't a lifestyle Jacob chose. He was born this way. Don't you see?
For so many reasons.
Now let's go play grab ass out in the woods.
I mean, there's no again. X-Men does this too. X-Men also does the allegory when it comes to this thing. The problem is the allegory.
It's a much better series, though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to get at. Like the allegory in this movie is so paper thin. It's just, ugh.
It's just a throwaway line, really, because that whole theme doesn't really have any semblance in the movie because Bella just doesn't give a shit. But
that's actually no, she did specifically say, "Can't you just stop being a werewolf or something along those lines?"
I must have missed that, but yeah. Still, though, it's just there. I do not like this series, this movie.
Join the club.
As I'm saying this, isn't the next movie
much more rage-inducing?
Yes. Honestly,
because Bella.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Because I think didn't we try to do a commentary on it once?
Yes, we did for Eclipse as well. Yes,
because I have some memories, and I am not looking forward to what we have next.
Oh, it did not go well. Again, it's just New Moon pisses me off all the more because, okay, New Moon does it more of quantity. Eclipse does it less, but it has a higher quality with how rage-inducing Bella is. So I guess the choice is yours. Do you like it numerous, or do you like it less, but more potent?
The paradox with Eclipse is this. It's just as bad in terms of the whole romance shit. However, it's the closest the Twilight movies ever come to being genuinely well made, in the sense that it's much better directed than this one.
That and there's actually some
and
close to good action.
Yeah, and we actually do get some backstory flashbacks for the side characters that are far more interesting than anything we've gotten so far.
But Bella is absolutely insufferable.
The problem is, yeah, exactly. The problem is we don't focus on them that much, as always.
Oh boy, Eclipse is gonna be such a rough ride.
But yeah, that's it. Really, this is yeah.
Pedro.
What else can I say?
You're welcome.
Yeah, what else can I say? Twilight. It's a terrible film. Again, I am by no means trying to say this is not a terrible film. Happening is also a terrible film. That's not the point. It's just, again, it's one of those cases where you have to understand that unlike you guys, I was there. I saw this bloody thing unfold before me in the theater. And an army of teenage girls reacting in such interest. It was I wasn't seeing so much because of the movie. It was more so because I felt like a scientist surrounded by interesting specimens. You know, like it was just so fascinating to see the way teenage girls react to this shit.
You spent money for this experiment.
Sure. Trust me. Money well spent because I had a blast.
Congrats.
No. No, you guys have to understand that, trust me, these movies were at their best when you're seeing them in the theater full of teenage girls who drag their boyfriends to watch this.
Well, the thing is, like, I just remembered I had a similar experience, because I didn't see this in a cinema, but I did see it upon its DVD release.
I did too.
Because a friend of mine really liked the movies, and I couldn't fathom why, because it's not his type of thing at all.
Wait,
then the shirtless scene started, and it's like, oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, his? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you're watching these movies, and actually, that's how I got him to watch Torchwood. Is also
Oh,
Interesting segue.
shirtless men. But yes, go
brilliant.
Well, Jova, Well, Jova, let's face it. There are very few movies that are more proud to be, well, you know, than this
Gay.
one.
Just say it, gay.
Sure, fine, I'll say it. Let's face it, guys. There are very few movies that are more proud to be gay than this one. So,
What are you saying? It's just a club.
I don't know. I don't think it's fabulous enough.
It's just a
And I
club
can
or a cult of shirtless werewolf guys who literally rip their pants when they transform and play grab ass out in the woods.
Shiro, in that case, Shiro, you should see Top Gun. Top Gun is one of the most awesome gay movies ever, I assure you.
And it has such a
Getting
great
a sequel,
soundtrack,
so-
too.
Yeah,
Good jumping point.
but yeah, the point is...
I think the moral of the story here is watch Top Gun instead of Twilight.
Yeah. What else? Again, but yeah, sure. If you're watching this on your own, the best way to watch this movie is with a bunch of. If you're watching this in your home, the best way to watch it is with a bunch of friends, with drinks and
Yes.
food. If you're all drunk, trust me, this is a great movie to watch while you're drunk.
Hey, you want to get drunk?
With friends.
Hey, you want to get drunk? Like Shuri said, take a shot every time Jacob takes or rips his shirt
Like
off.
anytime someone is shirtless on screen, take a shot. And
Sure,
yes,
sure,
that's
sure,
four
sure.
shots for the 4 guys that were in that one
Well,
scene.
Chile, technically his shirt is only ripped twice in this movie. He spends a lot of the time in the movie shirtless, but the actual act of taking off the shirt only happens twice. So I would
Like I
argue
said,
the best-
anytime someone is shirtless, I didn't say that people had to actively take off their
There
shirts
it
for
is.
it to count.
I
Well,
guess.
Shiri,
I-
you're doing the easy mode because we're apparently an official. The TV Tropes has an official drinking game page for the Twilight Saga.
Oh,
Of
wow.
course it
That is
does.
fine. That works too, Shiroi, but I have a better idea. Take a shot every time Kristen Stewart makes a derp face. There you go. You'll
Oh,
be
dear.
drunk within the first 10 minutes. So
Can I get one? Can I do one shot every time? Michael Sheen instead is doing a weird face. At least I'm happy
unfortunately,
with that.
Well,
it's
then you'll
pretty
be
clear
sober.
He's not enough in the movie for that to happen too.
Damn.
And he comes in too late. Don't worry, Dwebs. He'll be a lot more in the following movies.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah. But yeah, obviously, yeah, the movie's terrible. What else is to say? It's Twilight. Everybody already knows why this movie's terrible.
It's beating a vampire dead horse.
Here's what you should do, everybody. If you can. Okay, right now teenage girls are not even probably aware of Twilight because it's not relevant anymore. Get her a bunch of them.
Are you sure about that, Pedro?
Remember,
is it-
that's one thing we forgot to mention, because
Oh, yeah,
considering this
because
is
of,
the Twilight commentary,
Because
there is
of
a new
the,
book coming.
Yeah.
I sort of mentioned this earlier, but yeah, let's give it the full context. Twilight is apparently coming back, folks!
Okay.
What
but
timeline is this?
But that was announced recently, though. Ignoring that. Here's what you do: get her a bunch. If you have a lot of teenage girls as your friends, get her all of them in a living room and have them watch this movie, and then get a video camera and record the reactions. I assure you, it will be a night that you will never forget. So yeah, that's Pedro's guide to enjoying Twilight New Moon the best way. There you go. That's my final thoughts. That's the guide of how to enjoy this movie better.
Alright, see you for Eclipse. Hopefully not in 4 years. More probably a more recent shortage time. So see ya.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah.